Welcome back to the Ripken Report. I'm Jacob Gold, and today we've got a special edition of the show. Normally, this is where we break down everything that happened around the Cal Ripken Senior League over the past week. But this week, we're hitting pause on the usual format to take you inside of one of the premier events of the summer, the All-Star Game between the Cal Ripken Senior League and the Valley League. From the moment the gates opened to the final out, we were at Shirley Povich Field bringing you exclusive access to all things All-Star. You'll hear from players and coaches, Hall of Fame baseball writer Tim Kurkjian, and the commissioners from both the Cal Ripken and Valley League. We take you behind the scenes of one of the biggest nights. Let's head out to Shirley Povich Field. The All-Star Game is more than just another game on the schedule. It's a chance to recognize the players who've earned the respect of their teammates, their coaches, and the rest of the league. Before the first pitch, I caught up with several of the Ripken League All-Stars to find out what this day meant to them. Brennon Wright. Brennon, how are you doing today?
I'm just fantastic. I'm very blessed to be out here today.
So this is your second All-Star selection. Just tell me how that feels.
I mean, it's incredible, getting to represent Bethesda Big Train here at home stadium, representing the best summer league in around with the Cal Ripken League against the Valley League today. It's just an awesome experience.
So that brings me to my second question is you guys are at Povich. You're a part of the Big Train program. How does it feel to see guys from just another league here at this ballpark and, you're representing this entire league? How does that feel?
I think it's awesome, especially being able to play with guys from all across the country, guys from different backgrounds, not only from this league, but also a league kind of neighboring next to us. I think it's pretty awesome that we're able to do this, and thank you to all our commissioner and the Valley League commissioner for getting able to do this. It's cool getting to play against guys that maybe on your own team back at school, or guys that you've played against at school, but you're in different leagues, and now you're getting to play each other, which is pretty cool.
I'm here with Andrew Duncan of the Olney Crop Dusters, representing the Ripken League here at the All-Star Game. It was your first selection to the All-Star Game ever, so tell us what's going through your head.
Just really excited to be out here, meeting some new guys from around the league. It was a good first half of the season. Obviously, it's a goal to be out here playing an extra game. Really excited. Really nice meeting all these guys and looking forward to playing.
Here with Daniel McGinnis. Daniel, you represent the Alexandria Aces. You've been hitter of the week. You've done all the Cal Ripken Senior League stuff. How does it feel to represent the Cal Ripken League at the All-Star Game and kind of take your game to the next level against a team like the Valley League?
Well, I just want to say that I want to give all my glory to God, because without him, I wouldn't be able to do anything. But I'm really humble. I have a great support staff over here with the Alexandria Aces. My family really believes in me, and I think it's just a great opportunity to show the people that believe in me the hard work's paid off.
For these players, being named an All-Star is more than just a personal accomplishment. It's a chance to represent not only themselves, but the organizations that helped them get here. I am here with Bryce Dolby of the Ripken League, here representing the All-Star Game. Bryce, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Glad to be out here.
Awesome. So, Bryce, you pitch for the Big Train. Tell me how it feels to go up against the Valley League.
Feels good. I mean, you always hear that it's a pretty good league over there, and I know we've been trying to do this for a couple of years now, so it's good.
They've got some experienced bats over there. How do you think your approach is going to differ or stay the same from your everyday outing for the Cal Ripken Senior League?
Yeah, nothing changes. Get ahead, put them away.
I love that answer. It's easy to get caught up in the competition, but hearing these players talk reminds you why they started playing this game in the first place. Long before they became All-Stars, they were just kids who loved the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little surreal. I remember coming here, going to Big Train as a camper. I remember playing on some of these fields around us, the smaller fields with the BCC team. But it's crazy. I mean, it's kind of full circle getting to play out on this field that I kind of grew up watching in the stands. But yeah, it's really awesome, really cool.
That's awesome. And that'll lead me into my third question. What is your favorite childhood memory of baseball?
It's tough to beat Cooperstown as a 12U. I remember going there with some of my best friends, and that's just a great experience. We had a pretty good time there, won a few games, and it's hard to beat Cooperstown.
Obviously, this is for the love of the game.
What moment made you love baseball the most?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Honestly, probably just playing with my little brother growing up, playing with my dad or my mom. My mom hitting me ground balls growing up. Dad throwing me BP growing up. Just spending time with my brother as we both share a love for this game together. I think that's probably what ultimately has drawn me to this game.
Probably being able to play under my dad when he was coaching me.
What is your favorite MLB team?
Favorite MLB team is Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh, that is the best answer we've gotten today.
Thank you.
I do want to ask how to feel if you were to ever just even step foot on Citizens Bank Park's field.
It would be a dream come true. It really would be a dream come true. It'd be a lot of hard work going into that, and it would just be a dream come true.
Would you say this is a step towards that dream?
Oh, 100%. The Cal Ripken League, it's a really great experience, to face top-level arms, to showcase your talent, and I'm having a lot of fun this summer. I really am.
Of course, putting together an all-star roster is one thing. Getting players from 8 different teams to come together as one is another. I caught up with Alexandria Ace's head coach, Coach Worth, before the game.
Coach Worth, you are the hitting coach at Frostburg State. You have some guys here. An example of that is Ryan Booma of the Crop Dusters. You don't coach him during the regular season, but what does it make you think? Like, how does it feel to have him here at the All-Star game? Are you proud, or what's going through your head?
Yeah, I'm definitely proud of Ryan making it to this game. It's a pretty prestigious honor, I believe, this year, making it to the Ripken League All-Star Game, since it's only one team and we're comprising a roster, from all 8 of these really competitive teams in the league. And you can see there's a ton of parity in the league because you see, teams at the bottom of the standings beating the teams at the top every other night. But in terms of Ryan, I'm super proud of him because, he's had an up and down college career, hasn't really had the opportunity to have a full summer season, a full off season since his freshman year. He got banged up a couple times summer of his freshman year, summer of his sophomore year, and now after his junior season, he ended it on a really, really hot streak in the conference tournament for us in the MEC conference tournament. He's probably the hottest hitter in the conference. And I think he's just going to carry that momentum into the fall. I'm really, really eager to get back to work with him and the rest of the guys. I have such a cool opportunity to be able to coach my guys from Frostburg State across a bunch of these different teams in the league. Obviously, I can't coach them in Alexandria, which I would love to be able to do. But getting to keep a close eye on them and compete against them, it's a pretty cool, unique opportunity.
That's amazing. And talking about opportunities, you're a part of a coaching staff that competes against each other all season long. I'm sure there's some hotheads during those regular season games, but explain to the entire fan base out there, how do you guys come together as one unit to coach this team against the Valley League, kind of team up against one common enemy?
Well, we want to win this game. We want to put on for the Ripken League. I'm a previous coach of the Valley League. I managed in 2024. I was an assistant in 2023. So, this game and this competition, this means a lot to me. And I think it means a lot to the guys in the dugout too. As far as the coaches, we compete pretty tough with each other during the regular season in the Ripken League. And it's a really competitive environment. We all want to be there at the top of the standings at the end of the year and competing for the league championship series. But I think we all recognize that this opportunity to coach a group of really talented players doesn't come along very often. So I'm cherishing this opportunity. I'm getting to work with Sal Colangelo, which I've known since I was 5 years old. So it's kind of a full circle moment for me coming back to this Big Train Stadium. So it's pretty cool opportunity for me.
And to put everything into perspective, I wanted to hear from someone who's covered baseball at every level for decades.
MLB Hall of Fame journalist Tim Kurkjian. Tim, how are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm at a game. As long as I'm at a game, I'm feeling pretty good.
I agree. Baseball really is the best sport in the world. So, Tim, I just have a few questions for you. Number one, you grew up in Bethesda. How does it feel to have the All-Star game here at Shirley Povich? These guys come from all over just to be right here.
Yeah, it's really cool. Now, I'm hopelessly biased here, but I grew up at this ballpark. When I was a kid, I used to get a dime for every foul ball that I would retrieve and bring back to the broadcast booth because somebody had to go run them down.
Right.
So as a 7-year-old kid, I was here like every night watching the big guys play, which was very important to me. Then as I got older, I played all my games on this field, and there was a lot of games we played here. And then I was an umpire on these fields after I got done playing. So I've spent a lot of time here, and I feel like I saw some of the best baseball ever in this ballpark. We used to have a thing called the Industrial League, in which ex-pros, current pros, college players all played summer league baseball. And even though my father taught me everything I needed to know about baseball, when I would come to this ballpark and watch those guys play, and then years later get to play in this ballpark, that was quite a thrill. Plus, I went to Walter Johnson High School. I knew Shirley Povich. So I have a lot of connections to this place.
So actually, I'm going to ask you a question about Shirley Povich. What is your favorite memory or a story about Shirley?
Yeah, I was in the press box with him one night in Baltimore, and we were sitting right next to each other. And, Shirley was way older than me, but I grew up watching him. But instead of saying, Shirley, hey, I grew up watching you, I wanted to be like you, I just asked him about the people that he saw play. So I asked him about Walter Johnson. And he looked at me and he said, I saw Bob Feller. I saw Nolan Ryan. I've seen all the hardest throwers of all time, and nobody threw harder than Walter Johnson. Now, I don't think I believe that, but I'm not disputing. I'm just trying to make a point that this thought that Walter Johnson was throwing 80 miles an hour in 1920, that's ridiculous.
I don't believe that.
He was throwing way harder than that. Go ask Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, and everyone who ever faced him. But that was where I just love talking to the old-time baseball writers like Shirley Povich, because they saw stuff that I just never saw. How could I? I was so much younger. But that was the greatest night for me, was actually sitting next to him and him telling me what it was like to watch Walter Johnson pitch.
All right. Well, thank you, Sal. All right, fellas. Congratulations on two things. You've chosen to play the greatest game in the world, and you guys all know that. You've also chosen to play the hardest game in the world, and you all know that also. Just remember that you are better right now than 99% of the people who have ever tried to play this game. When you play collegiately and you get to this kind of summer league level, you are so much better than the average person would ever dream of. If we pulled anybody out of the stands tonight and had them take an at-bat in this game, not only would nobody get a hit, nobody would make contact, no one would put a ball in play. No chance. And if we had somebody come out of the crowd and pitch, you guys would take them deep one after another. So never, ever forget that the game you've chosen to play is the hardest game in the world to play. This year, on opening day, Aaron Judge went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. And I got asked, what's wrong with Aaron Judge? I said, well, that's the 15th time in his career that he has struck out 4 times in a game. 15. And that's because the game is so difficult. He's the best player in the game. Giancarlo Stanton on his team has 32 4-strikeout games in his career. That's the most of all time. Shohei Ohtani is maybe the greatest player any of us has ever seen or will ever see, but he holds the record for most strikeouts in an MVP season. In fact, he has the 2 highest totals for strikeouts in an MVP season. I'm not picking on these guys. I'm trying to tell you that this game is so freaking hard to play that when I watch a game on TV or in person, I wonder, how does anybody get a hit anymore? When I watched Jacob Misiorowski pitch, I wondered, this guy is just threw a pitch the other day, 105.5 miles an hour. He recently threw 47 pitches in a game, one game at 101 or above. He's also got a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. He's 6'7". He has extension like we've never seen before, and he throws it from this arm slot, meaning the hitter can't even see it coming out. How does anybody get a hit off of him? The point I'm trying to make is when you have a really bad day, you can't just give in and say, I suck, I can't play anymore. You have to come back and try to beat the game the next day. But every once in a while, you have to acknowledge the game was better than I was today. Doesn't happen like this in other sports. When LeBron James has a bad game, He gets like 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's a bad game. When Mike Trout has a bad game, he goes 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts and may not even catch a ball in center field. This is what you guys are up against. And the goal always is, when you do have a bad day, you have to show up the next day and try to beat it. And if you have a great day, you can't show up the next day saying, I got this figured out, because if you get 4 hits one day, you might strike out 4 times the next day. Way before your time, Frank Robinson is one of the greatest hitters I've ever seen in my life. Had one of the great rookie seasons ever. His second year in the big leagues, he had an 0 for 20 slump going, and he told me many years later, he said, I really thought I would never get another hit the rest of my career. That's how hard the game is to play. Do you really think that Steph Curry goes to the gym, goes to the arena, and says, boy, I hope I can hit a three-pointer tonight? Now, he's the greatest shooter of all time, and there is not a close second. But the bottom line is, this motion here is a lot easier than this here. And when you're trying to hit 104 miles an hour, and that ball is buzzing the tower and throws a fear of God in you when you get hit or nearly hit, people don't understand how much courage it takes to play this game and how dangerous this game is. The only people who understand it are you guys, and the only people good enough and courageous enough to get through it are you guys. Any average fan gets the tower buzzed in a major league game or one of the games tonight, he isn't going back near home plate ever, because he's too afraid. Do you know how many people think they could come out here, go into a major league ballpark, and actually get a hit off a major league pitcher? You've got to be kidding me. 0 contact, 0 balls in play. I don't care how many at-bats, 1,000 at-bats, no balls are going in play if you can't play this game. Nobody really thinks they can guard Steph Curry in the open court. Nobody thinks they can tackle Saquon Barkley in the open field, but they think they could get a hit off of Jacob Mizorowski. You've got to be kidding me. The only people who understand how hard it is are you guys. But again, that's why you have to show up every day trying to be the best player you can. And I've covered baseball for 45 years now. And the one thing that I know more than anything right now is that our players today overpower the sport with their physical gifts. You guys have no comprehension how big and strong and fast you guys are. And the guys in the big leagues are bigger, stronger, and faster than you guys are. But if you're going to separate yourself and get to the big leagues and stay in the big leagues, you have to learn how to play the game. And we've gotten away from that a little bit in the big leagues. I'm not being critical, because these are the greatest players I've ever seen in my life. But if you don't know what base to throw to, if you're missing a cutoff man, if you don't know how to run the bases, you're going to be in trouble trying to get to the next level. So when the coaches tell you this is about understanding how to play the game, absolutely critical. I have never met, in all the years that I've covered, a player who has no idea how to play the game, but he just overpowers it with his physical gifts. That guy doesn't end up as a star player. He doesn't end up in the Hall of Fame. Just learn how to play the game no matter what. It is diabolically difficult. Bo Bichette plays third base for the Mets. His dad, Dante Bichette, was a really good player for the Rockies 30 years ago when I was covering for Sports Illustrated. And I did a story on Dante Bichette in the prime of his career. And he told me, every day I come to the ballpark, I wonder, is today the last day that I'll be able to hit in the big leagues? He really believes that. And I did a story on a guy this spring who told me, every time I go to the ballpark, I wonder, is this the last hit that I'm ever going to get? He really believes this is the last hit that he may ever get. And maybe that's what drives him to show up the next day and be ready. Because if you're not ready to play this game, it will tear you to pieces. And you guys know that feeling when you go home after a 3-strikeout game and you say to yourself, I suck today. Well, that's because everybody sucks today once in a while. You just got to show up the next day and try to do better, because the best players of all time are completely humbled by this game every single day. Never forget that. All right, ask me any question you like. I covered baseball for 45 years. I've covered every All-Star game since 81. I've covered every World Series game since 81. I voted for the Hall of Fame for the last 35 years. I've met every star. I've met every star player in baseball for the last 4.5 decades. I have the greatest job in America. All I wanted to do was be you guys and play at this level. I played in high school. I wasn't good enough. But don't tell me, oh, I was too small to play after this, okay? Dustin Pedroia won an MVP in 2007. He's 1.5 inches taller than me. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm like 4'8". He is tiny. And my hands, I got giant hands for a little fart. My hands are twice as big as Dustin Pedroia's hands, but his hands are twice as strong as my hands. Tony Gwynn, again, before your time, Tony Gwynn had the littlest hands you've ever seen. He used a 32-inch, 30.5-ounce bat because his hands were so tiny, and he would just try to, his bat was a magic wand. Today, everyone else is using a sledgehammer trying to hit it 500 feet. He was trying to find a hole. And years ago, the A's, this just shows you, sorry, how screwed up we can get with the analytics. Analytics are very important. Follow them. They can help you. But when they dominate your entire life, you got to be careful with that. Years ago, 10 years ago, the A's hired a rocket scientist, a legitimate rocket scientist, to do a study on exit velocity. And among his findings was Tony Gwynn wasn't a great hitter. Tony Gwynn was a lucky hitter because his exit velocity was lower than that of a lot of other players. Tony Gwynn was a .338 lifetime hitter. His all-time strikeout high for a season was 40. Right now, we have 22 guys who have already struck out 100 times, and we're not even at the All-Star break. Not being critical. I'm trying to tell you that Tony Gwynn did things differently. And when he would walk up to the plate, on the tongue of his spikes, he had 5.5 written. That's the 5.5 hole. That's the hole between the third baseman and the shortstop. When in doubt, he would go to the plate and say, all right, if things aren't going well here, I can always hit a hard ground ball between the shortstop and the third baseman and get another hit. That's why he's a Hall of Famer. That's why he won 8 batting titles. That's why he's one of the greatest hitters of all time. And by the way, he coached at San Diego State. And a couple of San Diego State kids were on this team at the Big Train about 15 years ago. And I went and asked him, I said, what was it like playing for Tony? He goes, well, he's the greatest hitting coach of all time. But he said, at the end of his coaching career, he had cancer. He was dying, and he weighed 300 pounds, which was about 110 pounds more than when he played in the big leagues. 300 pounds and dying of cancer as the coach of the San Diego State team. His team was having such a terrible time at the plate that Tony got a bat, and he said, God damn it, I'll show you how to do this. And he stepped in the box at age 50, dying of cancer, and hit line drives all over the field because that's what Tony Gwynn can do. I have a million stories about him. I have a million stories about all sorts of other guys. And one more thing about the size and shape of people. This beautiful game is open to all shapes and sizes. Pedro Martinez, again, before your time. He is the greatest pitcher that I've ever seen for a 5-year period. At one point in his career, he had the greatest curveball, the greatest changeup, and the best fastball in the game, all at the same time. I've never seen a pitcher that had all 3 of those. He told me when he played in rookie ball, he was 18 years old, he weighed 138 pounds. Even I weigh more than 138 pounds, not much more, and he's throwing 93 miles an hour at 138 pounds. I said, Pedro, how could you do that? He goes, well, God gave me that. And it's time for you guys to all understand that God gave you ability that most people will never have, would pray to be able to hit a ball like you guys hit it, to be able to throw a ball like you do off a mound, to make that play in the hole that you guys can make. But in order to get to the next level, you have to take that God-given talent and use it in the right direction. Because if you don't show up ready to go every day, there's a guy over there who's ready to kick your ass. There's a guy over there who wants to tear your throat out. And the common denominator of every big league player I've met, and I've met a zillion of them, they showed up ready to kill you every single day. And that's what it's going to take from you guys to get out of this league, to go back to college, to tear it up, to get drafted, to go play professionally, to go play in the big leagues. I'm telling you, this is one thing I know for sure. The greatest players I've ever met, the Cal Ripkens, the Tony Gwynns, and all those guys, Barry Bonds, they were all absolute students of the game. They overpowered the sport with their physical gifts, but they also understood all the insight and the subtle nuances of the game. Ripken, by the way, boy, this is terribly self-serving. I used to play basketball with Cal Ripken. This is ridiculous, but I did for a long time, many games with him. And if I was on his team, we would get it to him, we would win the game. But, and you guys have all played pickup basketball, if we were on opposite teams, and his man was a little late getting down on offense, he'd like to get in front of me in the smallest pickup game ever and guard me all the way down the court like this, from one end line to end line. He weighs 100 pounds more than I do. He's a foot taller than I am. And that moment, all he cared about was, let's see if I can keep the dinky little sports writer from getting the ball across the timeline in the right amount of time. That's what he used to do, because his competitive nature was like nobody that I've ever met. He's Tiger Woods, he's Michael Jordan, he's all of them put together. So that's why he was such a great player, is he showed up every day ready to compete.
After a day full of festivities, introductions, and interviews, it was finally time for baseball. The Cal Ripken League All-Stars were looking to defend their home field against the Valley League. And for a while, it looked like they were well on their way.
Every ballpark you go to is slightly different. That's slightly different. And I have the actor, realize it have to make it a little harder if they want to get ahead of the play.
So 3 Brodies, by the way, in this lineup as Caban tattoos this one into right. Malvasio going back on it. 1-0 Valley League. This one is gone.
3 strikeouts in those innings, so this is a strikeout guy, and as well has a 1.32 ERA. So
It's Cal Johnson, the Big Trains All-Star, hits one right between the first baseman and the second baseman. Nothing they could do about that one, as it's a good single to lead things off for the man who has been just so powerful at the top of this Big Train lineup.
we're lucky that the rain is held off for now for us.
Yeah, we'll hope the same, as this one's a bouncing ball right side. Not going to get all the way past, but he will beat him out at first. McGinnis very quick, and he shows it there. He'll tie this ball game as Cal Johnson is driven home. Stroker, who is on the other side of the league with Waynesboro. As this one's hit hard in the left, it's going to be a liner. Gets down, chasing after. It's Haywood. One runner will score. The other one rounds on the misplay from Haywood. He runs past it, and the runner will get there with ease. Over to third is Duncan. Play at third, he is out. So the first out of the inning as he tried to extend a double.
Very close to over there as the only broadcaster.
Yes, with Peyton Youse.
Start off in a great pick at first. Fantastic job of man starting there. Melton.
Picked him to come into this portion of the game. Is definitely a guy who could come in and do the job quickly.
Big wave at that one, and he will go down swinging. So 3 strikeouts now for their side since the 3 runs were allowed. We'll be right back in the top of the 5th. All day is Smith when he pitches. Big leader of strikeouts in this league. If he can't find it, it's going to be tough. 2-1 in the air to left. It's going to get down. Extra bases for sure for Green, as they will try and catch the man over at third, and he stumbled. Could have had him at second, but obviously didn't know he was going to do such as a double. They used to play in the Southern Collegiate Prospect Showcase in these All-Star games. 0-1. Kaiser Smith deals, and that's a ground ball right side. Going to get past the first baseman and the second. One runner will come home. They round as another will come to the plate. Springmeyer can't hang on, and Nicholas Dromboski will go over to second, but he's caught there. So a single brings home 2 RBIs for Dromboski. Played for 2018 as an alternate and won a gold medal in 2017 at the NTIS. Liner into left, well hit, and it's going to get down. One runner will come home as throwing back in, another will stop at third. They get him at second, though. He is out. Was not able to extend a single to a double there, and these outfielders on both sides have just been dangerous.
Well, absolutely, and is made to pay a little bit for his aggressiveness there, but another run scored, score 5-3 for the Valley League.
One of two Florida State Western Buccaneers. As this one goes up the middle, gets past two, and it is into the outfield. Ground ball is enough to get 6-3 now on the board for the Valley League. Their hitters continuing to play very well. Committed to Florida Southwestern, adding side since the second inning for Cal Ripken Senior League All-Stars. As this one is a line drive into right, it's going to get down for extra bases. Dromboski will have that double that he wanted earlier, as he'll have it standing. Two runners will score, and it is 9-3. The Valley League is blowing by the Cal Ripken Senior squad right now.
Yeah, Dromboski saw.
The Valley League defeated the Cal Ripken League All-Stars 12-3 with a highlighted performance and ultimate MVP, Nicholas Dromboski. Here's my friend and fellow Penn Stater, Matt Becker, with him after the game.
I'm here with the MVP, Nick Dromboski. Nick, 2 for 2, 4 RBIs. You're the MVP. How does it feel to get this trophy, this beautiful trophy?
Feels great. I'm just grateful to be here with all these great guys. I mean, it's been amazing meeting all these new people, great players. Even against the other team, I have to respect everyone on the field, and it was just a great night, and just so thankful to be here.
How does it feel to represent the Valley League and everything that it holds?
It's awesome. I mean, this is my first year here, and it's been great so far. I'm just thankful to represent the Valley Baseball League.
And finally, to you, what does it mean to be an all-star?
It means a lot. You know, it's all the hard work on and off the field that you put in, but at the end of the day, it's just a game, and the most important thing is having fun.
Well, congratulations, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
While the final score favored the Valley League, the day was never just about winning or losing. It was about bringing together two of the nation's premier summer collegiate baseball leagues, celebrating some of the best talent in the country, and giving fans a chance to see the future professional baseball players all on one field. I got a chance to talk with both commissioners about the future of this All-Star game.
Here with Rick Kerr and Jason Woodward. Guys, you guys put on a spectacular show here at Shirley Povich. Just take us through how this event came to be.
Well, it came to be, it's been a vision of mine and Rick's to get together to have an all-star game to play, to showcase the best talent in both leagues, between the Valley League and the Ripken League, for Major League scouts that are in attendance. We felt there was an opportunity for the scouts to come to one event at one time to see both leagues. And as you saw by tonight, the evidence of the talent on the field, I think we did a great job.
Well, I think the one thing that I'm really impressed with is Jason and his staff. They're awesome. Chris Rogers did a great job working with the Cal Ripken Sr. League. They're first class. And it's hard when you run a summer collegiate league. And being a former Maryland baseball player, I love being back home. So it's kind of nice being back over here in Maryland. And we thank you for taking the trip. And, you know, this event could go on for years. So what do you guys see in the future of the All-Star game between these two leagues? Well, I think next year we're playing in our league. And I think the thing about it is we have about 4 or 5 facilities that we think would really love to host the All-Star game. And, you know, there's a JMU has a beautiful facility where the Harrisonburg Birds play, Winchester Royals where Shenandoah University plays. But one of my favorite fields in the league is Newmarket. The backdrop of the mountains is awesome. I played in the Valley League in 1979 with Winchester Royals, and Newmarket has always been my favorite field. So we're going to be voting on this in August, who's going to host the All-Star game. That's amazing. Anything?
No, I just hope we can continue with it and make it part of our Summer Classic and figure out the week that works, make sure we're attracting the scouts from MLB and get the top-notch players that go and continue to grow the game of baseball in the DC and Maryland areas, for the college coaches and college players, especially the Major League Scouts.
Well, that's what it's all about, development. And I just want to say congratulations to the Valley League for winning this one, and congratulations to both of you for a tournament and a game well won.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Whether it was the players sharing the field, the coaches leading the roster full of rivals, or fans getting a chance to see some of the best collegiate talent in the country, All-Star Day was a reminder of what makes summer baseball so special. A huge thank you to the Cal Ripken Sr. League, the Valley League, both commissioners, every player and coach who took their time to speak with us, everyone at Shirley Povich Field for making this special edition possible. I'm Jacob Gold, and this has been the All-Star edition of the Ripken Report. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the ballpark.